Over 2 exhausting months of Rocket League, 40 teams have fallen and just 2 remain. But who will be the champions of the RLCS X EU full split?
Oh, wow. Monkey Moon! Oh! Extra moves in!
Poor Billy, he just spawned and he's getting bumped out of the way, but there you go! Oh, he fights fire with fire!
Here comes the shot! Oh! He can't keep it out! And we've got ourselves a real game!
August 1st, 2020, European Regional 1. The format, Swiss. 2 groups of 16 teams, where winners play winners, losers play losers, and you will always face a team with the same win-loss ratio as your own. In other words, if you're watching this and you've watched the RLCS before this season,
we have completely changed everything.
But in the much upgraded Season X, one factor did carry over. And going into Regional 1, King of the EU Kennel remained the big bad Boserons themselves, Renault Vitality, who were led by their very own alpha male.
Oh, the bump, here come! Oh, no, what is the get alpha 54?
Predictably, they made Stage 1 look simple, dropping just 1 game in 3 best-of-5 series to make Stage 2 undefeated. Sound easy? Well, where Vitality plundered, other huge teams blundered.
This is a breakaway chance for Monkey downfield with Matane, jumping back, Cook's goal! Oh, Monkey takes down Team Liquid!
But Vitality continued to cruise. In Stage 2, they repeated the trick, smashing Swiss 2.0 to become the only team to reach the playoffs undefeated.
So, 7 slots left. Who'd join them?
Guild, head to the playoffs!
Guild had survived a Stage 1 decider and then upped the ante, going unbeaten in Stage 2.
To get any further, they'd need to beat Magnifico. Wait, who? Magnifico's biggest name was this guy. Greasy, who'd won Worlds back in 2016 and hadn't done much since, was back. But a quarter-final victory against Guild would surely be one step too far. Fair enough then.
In the semis, they'd face the top blokes.
Nice there, chum.
Flame and Cassio was solid, but 15-year-old rookie Archie was something else entirely.
Flame gets it towards Archie, who can do so much with such little boost. Will this be another chance for that? Yes, it will!
At the other end of the bracket, Vitality eased through to the semis. They'd face one of 2 teams left with Spanish blood in their roster.
And the Giants finishing out this series in style.
Ah, Giants. The team that shouldn't even be here, who'd missed out on Season 9 promotion. But this new format was a second chance, and the sovereigns of Spanish Bim Bam were more than taking it.
Their opponents, BDS.
It's a victory lap for Team BDS!
BDS had been promoted before the format change, then ruthlessly upgraded ClayX with Extra. The silky-touched all-rounder had propelled BDS to the top tier, and they'd made getting here look almost as easy as Vitality. So, 2 top teams with a score to settle. Winner gets to lose to Vitality.
They should be fine with just booming this ball downfield.
It's funny you bring that up, so I was just thinking, oh my goodness, I was just thinking about Mark by 8 and a double tap off the back wall. What was that angle?
It's always this roster who strikes first. BDS. Look at that 50 from Extra to what?
A bloodied and beaten BDS emerged victorious against their old rivals. It was time for the semi-finals. Top Blokes had stopped the Magnifico Cinderella story in its tracks in semi-final 1, but in truth, all eyes were down here, where Vitality, with all their history, were due to face the new blood.
BDS, they will have their speed tested here. Vitality are very smart.
I think I'm gonna have to land with Vitality and you guys as well. They are the inevitability.
But hang on! There's another rising star in Monkey Moon who just explodes into the net. I don't even want to think about what the shot differential in this net was, and the sniper mark by 8. Pick up another. It's a victory lap for Team BDS.
Vitality hadn't just stumbled, they'd been torn apart and cut to shreds. BDS were faster, more creative, more dynamic. Better, but they weren't done yet. BDS had one more battle, and Top Blokes had the talent to turn the tables.
Top Blokes do not get that one clean hit. Need to make sure that every single one of these is awkward. Mark by 8 annihilates the whole defense. It's just the territory, it's just possession. I feel like that is what Top Blokes have to take advantage of.
Regional 1 was over, but plenty more drama was to come.
1 regional down, 2 to go. With a brand new prize pool of $100,000 up for grabs, Group A went as expected. Until Series 5, when Oxygen found themselves in a do-or-die series against rookies Barrage eSports.
But not to worry, because Barrage were about to do the right thing and let literal mechanical genius Astral through to Stage 2 to entertain us with some wonder plays. Right?
But they found a quick pass on defense for Rise. Two demos and a goal for Wally. One left.
It's Astral.
Here's Astral. One. Astral. Two.
Astral.
Oh, Rise denies Oxygen the goal.
All aboard the Barrage bus.
Stage 2 started weirdly, then kept getting stranger. Barrage shot Vitality en route to a Series 5 decider with Magnifico.
Oh my gosh, what a play!
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Are you okay? Where did you go? Bam! This might be one of the biggest blowouts I think I've ever seen.
Elsewhere, BDS had gone unbeaten in both stages, meaning that, across both regionals, the only team to have taken a series off them was Magnifico?
There is literally nothing I can say right now about Magnifico.
As we entered Europe's second championship Sunday, one narrative was once again dominating the conversation.
If BDS end up performing better today than Ren and Vitality, do they usurp Vitality as the best team in Europe now?
No. I don't know. I feel like I'm ready to call BDS the best team in Europe.
I agree. As a great man with a round head once said,
This is Rocket League!
where the better team always beats the worst team really, really comfortably. As such, BDS and Vitality made their quarterfinals look easy.
Guild's gonna start off with a goal. How about that from Nolly? BDS will be moving on 4-0 over Guild in a game 5.
Freaky forces his way towards the box. Alpha has the carry and takes it away.
The two favourites had just about squeaked through. So let's ride this wave and see what happened when BDS faced the best team in EU.
You mean when Vitality faced the best team in EU?
Sure.
Huge goal here now. The response from Barry. Rebound out to K-Dom. K-Dom off the pole. Is it in? It rolls high off the crossbar. Doesn't matter. Mark was first to it. BDS proving to be the real deal.
The best team in Europe had once again fallen to the new challengers.
Who, as the best team in Europe, had reached their second regional grand finals in a row. But who would they face? The Giants were simply too speedy for anyone to subdue. Problem was, they were now up against the one team that could actually outpace them.
And this time, things did follow the script.
BDS have got to be the favorites here. They're the best team in Europe.
Be down only by 2 goals across the series. They'd be more than 2 games down overall. This could be a lucky moon. Top corner, hat-trick hero. Now it's going to be 2v1. Pass over to extra. It's in. Wow. Team BDS, 2-time, back-to-back regional champions.
Johnny and Stumpy were right, especially Johnny. Regional 2 ended with BDS proving that they were EU's best team.
Called it. Throughout all of this, a new table had been taking shape. With lockdown stealing yet another LAN, each region would have its own online major for the top 16 overall points earners. Question marks still hung awkwardly over certain teams, and for them, Regional 3 was where every victory mattered. One by one, teams banked enough points to guarantee their place in the top 16, and by the time Stage 2 rolled around, we knew nearly all of our qualifiers. Before the major though, there was a small matter of the third $30,000 top prize to play for, not to mention major seeding, and whether Vitality could finally take down BDS. Stage 2. The usual suspects did the job with ease, and 4 of the 8 playoff spots were once more taken by Team BDS, Top Blokes, Renault Vitality, and Guild eSports. But soon the real fun would start. Oxygen were drawn against Liquid, with the winner all but guaranteeing safe passage just to the major.
Bad timing. Now an opportunity to make up for it, and he does. Oxygen starting to live up to the hype.
Triple Trouble and Liquid were the last not to know. If Liquid beat Endpoint, they'd claw 16th place. If Endpoint won, it belonged to TT.
Because Virtuoso is just lingering, sniffing around, waiting! And the dunk from Metanoris is going to be enough to break Team Liquid's heart!
The 16 major slots had been filled, but before then, it was time for the Regional 3 playoffs.
I just believe that maybe this is the time that Vitality finally get one over on BDS.
Okay.
These playoffs were totally unique in that Vitality and BDS were scheduled to meet in the semi-finals. And while Guild put up disappointingly little fight against a red-hot Vitality in the first quarterfinals, the next one would be better. Dignitas, buoyed by their guaranteed major qualification, defended against BDS with their lives. In the end though, BDS did what what BDS do. It was time for their now traditional semi-final stumping of Vitality.
A lot from BDS, but also a couple of good looks from Vitality. Then in the first game, Fairy Pig off the corner. I can't believe he read this.
Alpha 54 lets it roll, and Team BDS are stunned.
For Vitality, it was third time lucky. They were almost back where they felt they belonged. Meanwhile, Endpoint put in the performance of their lives to make Top Blokes, then Barca, look not that great at Rocket League. And now here they stood, in the grand finals against the Renault Vitality back in top form. If they had any hope at all, it was to take the fight to them.
They're trying to get rid as quickly as he could. And that is the joy of this game, is that you don't get much time to communicate it. Naris! For him to be the one that holds back as Alpha over the top and Relay Wave can't get to it. We want Champions Field. Will we get it? Fairy Peak over to Alpha. Alpha, there's no.
Vitality were back on top, but the summit was slippery. One false move and BDS would usurp them in a heartbeat. Regional 3 had ended where Regional 1 had started, with Renault Vitality in the ascendancy. The big question now, could they stay there?
With each region having its own major, Psyonix invested a further $100,000 into the EU prize pool alone. For whoever won this, an extra $40,000 would be coming their way.
$40,200. Get it right, Cole. Come on.
Throughout all of this, BDS and Vitality had only been losing to each other when it mattered. And while fans of the various teams that had made it here were of course rooting for their favourites, no one could deny that the BDS Vitality rivalry had become the key storyline of all. But would they deliver?
Gonna have to go to round 4, try and get it done. Extra up here, looking to self-tap off the back wall, has it!
In a word, abso-hecking-lutely. BDS did what they'd been doing all season and went unbeaten in the Swiss. But somehow they were even more dominant than usual, not just going unbeaten in series, but going unbeaten in games. And the trio they'd 3-0'd were no pushovers. They would each go on to survive the Swiss and join BDS in the playoffs.
As for Vitality, they did have a single hiccup along the way, losing to the resurgent Galaxy Racer.
But fate on this occasion was kind to us all, and going into next weekend's playoffs, Vitality v BDS in the grand finals was on the cards.
We had hoped for a great final day, but the playoffs would exceed even our wildest expectations.
You don't need to let them up. Galaxy Racer can't let themselves fall. Batain here, chance for a double. So one shot per player. Endpoint have actually had more.
Wow, I never saw this final coming. This is mad.
Kid off by himself, then final third. Oh, that is the beauty. Okay, that went out play.
The full split was over, and BDS, with 2 regional victories as well as this major, were EU's number 1.
RLCS X was only getting started, and the winter split was just around the corner.